My name is Juliette Lang and I work for World Vision Ireland, and I'm here in the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon, where I've been since June of this year. I've worked for World Vision Ireland for over 6 years now, and that's brought me to places like Somalia, South Sudan, Mauritania, Sierra Leone. I'm originally from Dublin, and I find myself in some of these places. Here in Lebanon, I've been working since June with World Vision Lebanon, supporting the Syrian refugee crisis in the Bekaa Valley. Behind me is one of the many tented settlements that we've seen pop up all over Lebanon as families arrive, coming over the border from Syria with little but the clothes on their back. They end up in these tented settlements as they're left with little other choice. They may have left behind homes, their family, loved ones, possessions, and a lot of the families who we talk to are living under these shelters, and they speak with almost disbelief about how they've ended up in these places. For them, it's a beautiful sunny day now, but the winter is also coming. And for mothers, they look at their children sleeping under these canvases, and they have little in which they could actually protect them from the freezing cold temperatures that will be coming in. It drops down to -5 almost in the Bekaa Valley, and it's one of the harshest places in Lebanon. With World Vision, we're trying to support these Syrian families as they arrive with non-food items. Through the winter, we're providing them with blankets. We're providing them with money for fuel that they can go out and buy a stove and actually keep their family warm as well. We're also providing them with water and sanitation, the very, very basics for any family. Soap, buckets of water to bring fresh water that their children can drink from, latrines so that they can safely go to the toilet and avoid disease or potential outbreak. In the Bekaa Valley, the work has been going on for almost 2 years, but the crisis really shows no signs of stopping. For the last 6 months, I've been here watching the numbers every day increase, and they really show no signs of stopping. It's hard to imagine here now how close we are to the horror and the devastation that lies just across the border. But when you talk to a lot of the families and you hear their stories, you understand the kind of trauma and horrors that they must have seen. I wanted to hear a little more about his story, what brought him here from Syria.
One early morning I was going to get bread with my brother. Fights started between the FSA and the army. We were in a residential area, yet I was hit 5 bullets. I was hit with 5 bullets. My brother as well was hit with many bullets. We were victims of what was going on in the crossfire. As civilians, we are victims. 4 or 5 men died instantly. 2 children, 1 woman, they all died. We were all victims. Life became unbearable, so I decided to come, especially after the heavy bombing.
And for him, what did he leave behind when he came here?
ومن شحاله جيت لهون هيك رأيي يعني كان.
My life was very happy. I was very wealthy. I used to play with the money. My wife had a lot of gold. She decorated her arms with all the gold that she had until we had to start selling it bit by bit to be able to survive. We even went in debt to be able to survive. What other choices are we left with? Begging? Stealing? No, we had to come to Lebanon.
For many families who we talk to, one of the prime concerns for the children is where they will go to school. For kids who have been in Syria up until now, many of them will have been forced to drop out of school and may have been without education for years. Arriving here in Lebanon, one of the first questions that they always have is where can they go to school, where can they get education, and how can they avoid missing this huge gap. Families who've come so recently and have just been through so much before they landed in the Bekaa, it's an incredibly humbling experience. One of the women, the mother, was talking about her kids and about some of the experiences that they had had. Her husband had been very, very badly injured at that time, and for the young children, especially the younger boys, the trauma of that was so evident for them. One of the boys especially was quite boisterous and was pushing a lot and was rough playing with his younger siblings. And she was telling me how he had never felt that way before. He had always been this very, very gentle child. And what we try to remember is for every single family, it is still as traumatic as the first family who landed in. Just because it's 800,000 people later, it doesn't make that one person's experience any less valid or any less traumatic. You too can help.